Good evening, everyone. Today is Thursday, May 20th, 2021, and we're back downtown. And downtown Hilo, it's 75 degrees, and I'm heading to the supermarket, and then we're gonna head up towards an area called Waikea, and hopefully I can just show you guys some of the sights. Wow, well, that came out really nice. I remember when that house was plain, like completely plain. So from here we've got the fire station. Central Fire Station. I haven't seen none of the fire trucks out, but we've got the shore. Tennis courts. Only see one person in there today. Oh no, there's a couple people playing. Just as the lights start to go on. Lincoln Park. Alright. And we've got the Tribune Herald, which I think is a newspaper here. And we've got L&L Barbecue. Which is the local barbecue spot here. I think it's alright, it's solid. But it's like a solid go-to here. They've got some of the same stuff at most supermarkets though. Got McDonald's over here. McDonald's is almost the same prices as it is back on the mainland, but everything else here is fairly expensive. Looks like it's gonna rain. Probably in the next hour. It's a little bit gray. Here's Sack and Save, which is the local supermarket, and I'm gonna pause it right here so I can run in. All right, guys, it's a little bit later in the evening now, but still pretty nice out, still pretty comfortable, still waiting for things to pick up. I hear that tourism has picked up a little bit here. I hear that most of the tourism is basically on the other side of the island, on the Kona side, where it's warm all the time, where it's sunny, and where it doesn't rain. But here well, you guys already know, you can see the clouds, but yeah, on the Kona side, I hear there's people throwing raves and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. So tourism is coming back up. Thankfully, the what do you call it? The infection rate is quite low on the Big Island. We average about 4 people per day, and that's just a how's it? How's it? Dialed in? All right. We get about 4 infections per day, and that's just as a result of the, what's it called? Of the, how do you say it? Of the low population here. I believe Hilo has around 40,000 people, and I believe the whole island is around 100,000 people. So we really don't have like very high infection rates. People are getting vaccinated, so I'm sure that's been helping. But that's pretty much what the deal is. Here. It's not really spreading, but tourism is picking up, and they are extremely stringent on tourists. I work at a cell phone repair shop, and we get tourists there all the time. Who happen to break their phones and basically need them fixed before they have to fly out of town. And so just the other day, I got a couple of guys who had been vaccinated already, but Hawaii State required them to receive a COVID test for every island that they traveled between. They had to go and get COVID tested again, regardless of how recent their most recent COVID test was. So that kind of lets you know right there, even though they were already vaccinated. So that lets you know Hawaii is very stringent, which is good. It's keeping the numbers low. I think in general, across all the islands, we average around a little over 100 cases a day. I think around 124 cases. Oh yeah, we're just passing by the pizza arcade right now. Passing by some apartments, vape shops. There's just a little bit of shops downtown, to be honest. Just a handful of blocks. The other day I met the owner of a vegan gelato place near here called Nikoko. That is, what is it called? And apparently they got some pretty funky flavors. I'll have to go and check it out. But yeah, there's just a handful of small shops. I'd say there's maybe the downtown shops probably consist of 10 or 15, maybe a 10 or 15 block radius, you know. All right, so right now we are passing Aloha Haircuts. A lot of things here are called Aloha, which is a little bit funny. That's something that I feel like someone from the islands probably would make fun of. They'd probably point that out. They'd probably point that out as something you, how do you say, something unique to being from Hawaii. Like so many things name Aloha. Aloha Haircuts, Aloha Tattoo, Aloha Restaurant. Even at my first job here, there was someone named Aloha. There are definitely a lot of people here who are named after people in history, and so you see a lot of people here named after, sharing the same names as some of the streets. So like there's Hoku Street, and I've met a Hoku before. There's There's I'm trying to think of some other names. Hoku Street. What was the name of my last manager? Oh yeah, Lono Street, and my last manager here was named Lono. And then of course a lot of streets are named after the Hawaiian kings and queens and princes. Passing by the flower shops. Got the big one here. I know that the main island, Oahu, has so many people who, how do you say? We've got Yoon's Kitchen. I know a lot of these places some of you have seen, but yeah, these are just kind of local bars, local spots. How's it? I've seen on the main island, I know there's just tons of stuff. I know it's supposed to be a proper city. Well, it's not supposed to be. I'm sorry, it is. You know, there's proper cityscapes on the main island. But now that I've been here, I think a little over 6 months. It's been, what's today? It's May 20th today. So I got here November 4th of last year. So let me think, November 4th. Okay, so it's been just a little bit over 6 months. And yeah, now that it's been a little bit over 6 months, I'm definitely glad. Yeah, I'm definitely glad. I'm definitely glad that I came to the Big Island rather than having gone to the main island. I definitely weighed my options before coming here, but with the main island, rent for a 1-bedroom apartment is around, starts at around $1,600 and goes up from there. And at the time, even though I had some contacts, like some people that I could reach out to for to help me find work, it still just wasn't feasible. It still just wasn't feasible I would have needed to have some more saved up than I had to be able to pull it off. And then I would have probably had to hustle for for a little bit. I mean, I probably could have. I probably could have made it. I probably could have made it going straight off, but this was definitely kind of an easy transition from the mainland to this state. And yeah, I'm glad that I came here as opposed to Oahu, because it's super chill here. Like, it's pretty relaxing, and or I should say the vibe is pretty well, it's not, it's not particularly relaxing, but the vibe is pretty low key. That's what I'll say. Like, people in general are pretty low key, and